This is a Wolverine. I'm going to do a little install of our machine sheave, show you how to do that. I've taken the liberty to take the covers off and all that. As I've said on some videos, if you can't do that, you might not attempt this. The important part is the sheave part, but there are a couple things that I'll just quickly go over. There is a series of vents on your cover, and you got to remove them. And there's an exhaust duct that comes up underneath here under the bed. And unfortunately, the only way you can get to them is remove the bed. There's a few screws in the bed. It's just not that hard. You're not going to try to, well, I guess you will totally remove it. So it'll take you about 10 or 15 minutes. There's some screws behind the seats and then the top. And I'm kidding, but not kidding, I guess. If you can't do that, you probably ought not do this. But anyway, remove the bed, and then that's how you get that exhaust duct out. Me personally, mine's bolted back on, my duct's off. I put mine back on with some wire ties to support it up underneath there. I'm just too lazy to be taking that bed off and on. So I wire tie mine up. Okay, so that's that. Also, there's a seat belt bracket right here. This must come off. As I was saying, there's a seat belt bracket here. Mine's only got one in it because I've been playing here. I'm on it. But you'll have to remove this to get that cover off as well. So basically, you're just going to remove all the hoses. They're just screwed on with Phillips head screws. Remove them. Take all the screws out of the cover. There is a hook. I actually cut mine off because on the Wolverine it doesn't appear to be used. There's a hook on the bottom of the cover that grabs this every time. This parking brake, and it irritates me, so I just cut it off. So when you're pulling it out, that hook will be trying to hook here and on this. But nonetheless, I just cut mine off. Alright, so we'll start at the point of here. Alright, seat belt brackets out of the way. Now, this is actually our machine sheave on here. And once again, I'm just lazy, but we'll just take it off and put it right back on. I have the stock one. Actually, this one's never even been apart, period. And I just keep it here for what we're doing, playing and testing. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is take a 10mm, I use an extension, take this bearing support off. Alright, those screws usually stay there. Press this down out of the way, pull it out, and there's your screws. Alright, one thing you need to notice is let me get mine out and I'll show you, is that there are two different length screws in here, okay? Shorter and a longer one. The longer ones always go with top right, bottom left. Shorter ones top left. Here, so it's crisscross, alright? So when you put it back on, and actually there's some alignment pins, and that's the ones that go on bottom right, bottom left, top right. Okay, so that's all. We've included in your kit a little screw. It's a 6mm screw. There's two threaded holes in this secondary, and you finger start one of them and then screw it in. As you saw, that gives my belt slack, okay? Now you take a 22mm socket. I use 18-volt Milwaukee. Hold it with your hand. Okay. Zip that nut off. And this is a spacer. This is not a washer. Everybody thinks it is. That's important to remember that for later. And then simply slide this off. I can get it off. Alright. Okay, so for the sake of the video, we're going to pretend like we just pulled this off, okay? Or I can even put it back on. The point is, slide it off. Now you're going to remove your cam plate out of your old one. It's going to have a lot of grease on it. So clean it off just spotless. It's just grease free you can get. Wipe it off with rags, brake clean, whatever. You're going to have some cam plate slides that on your old plate. Obviously you just take yours off, put ours on. The square looking side goes to the inside. You'll see it's V-shape on the front. Boy, these ceramic lights are tough. But anyway, so basically clean it up and put them on. Alright, well your new sheave, all you gotta do, mine's a little dirty, so this is test mule, but anyway, you just drop your weights in, it's ready to go, other than a little grease goes in this center hole. Okay, actually I need to grease mine because this was a prototype. So I'm fixing to actually walk in the other shop, get some grease and put in mine, and that's the only place, and it goes right in between the two seals. Okay, now I went and put a little white lithium grease inside here. One of the things I'd like to point out, this sheave is one of our coated sheaves, but I've been running a while, but the reflection, see the shininess in the roller weight track right here? Alright, so if you recall from the tech article talking about how that material gets burnished down in there, well that's basically what it is. And see how slick and shiny it is? It's very slick to the touch, and that's the whole point of this new coating. Where the weights don't run all this other gray, it's really just excess and it doesn't do anything. If I could not waste it and get it only in the tracks, that'd be great. Now just to show you something else, and again this fluorescent light is terrible, but these things are actually silver looking. Alright, and what that is that same that coating has impregnated itself or burnished into these weights as well. Okay, now I'm touching this sheave like you're not supposed to, but I am. So basically just drop your weights down in here. No direction. People ask me all the time what direction weights go in. There are none. Okay, so just drop them in. And then get your cam plate, the clean cam plate with our slides on it, and drop it in and hold it. Now, you can also see this is our new sheave. This is again one of my prototype pieces, but it's smooth with our seal pressed down in it. Now the last thing you want to do is wipe this off with a clean rag and some brake clean. Let me go wipe mine off real quick.